Hey everybody, before you start watching this video, I wanted to give just a little bit of backstory about what this video is about, especially for those that have no clue who I am. Over the last 4 years, my life turned completely upside down. I went through a very painful, sudden, and public divorce. I lost friends that really felt like family members. My father left my mother after 4 decades of marriage. I mean, it honestly felt like everything inside of me was being tested, and I was failing miserably. I slowly lost my self-worth and went down an incredibly dangerous path. Please know that this video isn't about spilling the tea, and it's not about pointing fingers at anyone. Please watch this with an open heart and an open mind.
Oh God, I do not fit in this. What's up, internet? Josh here. This video is really special to me and very important to me. I'm really excited to make this video. As of today, according to my app, I don't know if you can read that, basically says my sober streak is 40 days. I am 40 days and 40 nights sober. As of yesterday, actually. So today's 41, but 40 is it's a pretty big milestone. Today's video is not necessarily about my struggles with alcohol, but because of my sobriety, there's so many things that I have discovered and realized that I wanted to share with you guys because I really feel like it's important for some people to hear, because I needed to hear this. Let's go straight into the title of this video so that those of you that are assuming there's clickbait involved, there's no clickbait. I really believe that I would never be able to make this video, and once I get into that, you'll understand that it's more serious than you think. But I'm going to keep this lighthearted because I feel great right now. As you know, the last 4 years I have been on a mental downward spiral for a long time, and I have tried and tried and tried to be strong, pull myself out of the mud. I've had good moments, I've had bad moments, but the bad moments started to outweigh the good. I have tried to reinvent myself so many times. I've tried to recognize my own mistakes so many times. I have been to many therapists. I was on medication for a while. I've had outbursts on the internet and privately. I've been angry and sad, and you know, the internet and alcohol did not make it better. It made it so much worse. And the reason why I wanted to make this video is because when I was at my lowest, I really gave up. I gave up. And the statement I'm about to make sounds scary because it is scary. And I'm glad I don't feel that way anymore. But I do think there are a lot of people that feel this way. And that statement is, I didn't want to exist anymore. And I want that to sink in to anyone that's watching this. I did not want to take my life. But every day, the resounding thought in my mind was, I don't want to do this anymore. I didn't have any passions anymore, no desire. I hated myself. I didn't want to exist. I really didn't. And I tried everything I could to stop thinking that way. I tried to lose weight. I tried to talk about my problems to a really expensive therapist that I didn't have the insurance to pay for. And I went down a path where I did like this, I wouldn't say it's controversial, but it's more, I guess, science-based. I don't know. I went to a doctor in LA, in Beverly Hills actually, where they glued a lot of things to my head to read my brain waves, to see what was wrong with my mind. And then they gave me medication. It sounds scarier than it is. I mean, it did kind of feel scary. So the point I'm trying to make right now is that when my life fell apart 4 years ago, I didn't immediately wave the white flag and say, I give up. I'm going to be a sad, angry victim for the rest of my life. That's not what I wanted. I tried everything I could possibly think of to better myself, to heal, to move forward. And I just couldn't do it. And I got more and more sad, more and more depressed. I obviously had great things in my life as well. But at the end of the day, it always sank back down. Some days I'd wake up and the day would start down in the mud. And it took everything just to get up. And then eventually I got embarrassed. I felt embarrassed because I couldn't shake it. I couldn't feel better. It wasn't happening for me. And I stopped telling my friends about it because I felt like a broken record, saying the same thing on repeat over and over. It was embarrassing. And I was ashamed that I felt like I wasn't strong enough to win that back in my life, to be happy, genuinely happy and at peace. And I felt alone, even though I had tons of people trying to help me. I just felt alone because it felt like everything I did wasn't going to help. And so what I started doing, this is when it comes back into the whole alcohol discussion, to shut those thoughts down, those negative thoughts, the thoughts that told me you're nothing, you're worthless, you're not talented, you don't deserve the platform you have anyway, you don't deserve a job at all because you suck. Those thoughts would not stop. So I started to drink more and more to numb those thoughts, to slow them down. All right, excuse me guys, I have to pause this discussion because we live with a train track right behind us. Cue the train, please. Hollywood effects. Back to what I was trying to say. I would drink to the point, I started drinking more and more and more to numb the pain that I was feeling. And I knew I was doing it, but I thought I was doing it in a way where no one would notice, because my brain wouldn't stop telling me how worthless I was, and the drinking would happen. And then to top it off, I'd get on the internet and I'd have comment after comment validating what my negative thoughts had been saying. I mean, I've said this before when I broke down last year on a video. I mean, I had people tell me that I should die and that I should go myself. I don't know if I can say certain words on YouTube anymore without them taking the video down. Those comments hit hard, especially when you're in that vulnerable place in your mind. And, you know, a lot of it was younger people saying it to me, like teenagers, and I'd get angry. I'm like, why would a teenager tell a grown man such... Words are powerful, guys. You never know what your words can do to someone. And I'm not putting all the blame on tweets or comments. I was looking in all the wrong places to feel okay. I didn't know if I was gonna mention this, but I think it's important to say. I started having these pains in my stomach, like crazy pains. And eventually I found out, because I had to go to the hospital because the pain was so bad. I was vomiting so bad and it was unbearable. It turns out I had stomach ulcers. They weren't caused by the alcohol, but the alcohol was inflaming them. It was making them worse. And if you've ever had a stomach ulcer, and I had more than one, it's some of the worst pain you can feel. I would be in bed for 3 days, not eating, not sleeping, just in pain. So imagine, God, it just got bad. It just got bad. I don't need to get all into that. But I had a breaking point where I sat down with Pamela, my wife, and I had just discovered what was going on, really, in my stomach and just my utter despair. And I told Pamela, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this being, I can't be in LA anymore. I'm on my last string. I'm not gonna survive this. I need to get out. LA, just for me, it was toxic. Everything about it was toxic for me. I'm not saying that it's toxic for everyone, but for me and where I was, it just amplified the situation, right? Everyone's there to be a star. Everyone's there to get numbers. Everyone's there to go to the parties and meet someone that can get them to that extent, to get some type of notoriety or fame, and that's why I went originally when I was 18, 19 years old. That's why I went. Fame is overrated, ladies and gentlemen. Like, what's the point to have everyone clap for you and acknowledge you and to be rich? Like, where's the beauty in that? I mean, I understand dreams, but whatever. That's a whole nother discussion as well. LA doesn't have to be that, but that's a big reason why people go to LA. And I told Pamela, I gotta go. I can't do this. And she, without skipping a beat, she said, well, then let's go. We will go. It blew my mind that I felt selfish by saying I needed to go, but she did not hesitate. She has the mindset of where you go, I will go. And I feel the same way too. If Pamela needed to go somewhere for her mental state, I'd say, let's go. Let's figure it out. She's my best friend and such a great partner. So that's why initially we moved here back to Georgia. It was so that I could hit the reset button. And then when I got here, you know what happened? Things got worse. It just shows that running away from your problems won't fix them. Your problems are going to follow you. Well, I got here and my drinking didn't stop. And that just continued and my health got worse and worse. I didn't want to be on the internet. I didn't want to see more people trying to pick apart every single thing I was going to say. It was just a vicious cycle. Basically, one day, Pamela caught me drinking. I had gone out to my car at like midnight. Basically March 23rd, 24th, 41 days ago. I went out to sneak a drink, and there was a window overlooking where I was drinking, and she saw me. I didn't know she saw me. I walked back upstairs. We were going to watch Netflix or something, thinking I had gotten away with it once again, and she said, what were you drinking out there? And in that moment, I was like, well, here we go. Here we go. I can't lie to her. I don't want to lie. I didn't want to lie to her. And we sat down that night and had a very long, honest conversation. And I told her that it was killing me. And I told her I didn't want to exist anymore. And I was afraid. And I was scared. And she sat there and she supported me. She listened to me. And she was willing to do whatever she had to do to help me. And the next day I took a shower, and in that shower, I had a conversation with myself, and for some reason, again, this is back to the title of the video, and if I'm rambling, I'm sorry. Hopefully some of this will make sense. In that shower, it's like a light switch popped on. I sat there with water running down my face, and I said, you're stronger than this. But you have to want to change. You have to want to be better. You have to give up the alcohol. You have to give up the things that are numbing you. You have to give it up. And you can give it up. All these thoughts, I started to believe for the first time the thoughts in my head were positive thoughts. And that day forward, like I said, that was 41 days ago, 42 days ago almost. I have not touched alcohol. I started walking every night. I'm losing weight. I give a crap about my life. I care about Pamela. I care about my mom. I care about creating things again. I care about bettering myself and possibly helping someone out there. Honestly, everyone that's watching this video, whether you have watched my channel and you support what I have done, or you find me cringy, you don't like me, or you're trying to pick apart anything I'm saying, none of that matters. What matters is this. There might be one person that watches this who feels like they don't want to exist anymore. And I just want to talk to you and say that you should exist. And whether you're dealing with substance abuse or heartbreak or online bullying or in life, real life bullying, or your parents are not the greatest, or you don't have friends and you just feel like it's hopeless, you are so worth it. But You're not going to find that from everyone else. You're not going to find that feeling from everyone else. It's momentary. You got to feel it on your own. The final thing I'm going to say, and I promise this is the last thing I'm going to say in this video. Be careful what you say to other people. Choose your words wisely. Be careful what you spend so much time obsessing over. You never know how powerful your words are in someone's life, whether they're positive or negative. For me, I was at such a dark place and a sad place that negative words that normally I could brush off were just enough to push me over the edge. So be careful what you say, whether you think you are right or not. Spend your time doing something that's going to help someone rather than destroy them. Okay? Or maybe go get some fresh air. Step away from Twitter, step away from the internet or whatever. Enjoy life, because life can be so beautiful. We're in such a crazy time, and I'm so thankful for everything I have and the people that I love and the people that love me. Life can be good. You got to choose it. And that might sound so hard. Don't give up in the process. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and know you're worth it. Be nice to yourself and be nice to people. Au revoir. I shall see you again. I'm on a swing.